In this true crime documentary, we uncover the shocking case of Brandi Celenza. Before we begin today's documentary, it's important to note that this crime was captured by cameras inside and outside the victim's home. Viewers' discretion is advised.
You know, even though it's cold, it's so beautiful to be here.
They were just this big, happy family that went out and did family activities, and everything was just amazing. Brandy's son, who was not Keith's son, according to Keith, referred to Keith as Daddy.
You don't care about me.
I do care.
In what way? Yeah, you like me as a father figure. You don't give a about me.
Yes, I do.
Our story today takes us to the city of Palm Coast, a quiet coastal city located in Flagler County on the eastern coast of Florida. It was established in the late 90s and grew rapidly until it reached a population of over 100,000 people. In this city lived Brandi Celenza, her son Ryland, and her husband Keith. Brandi Ruth Celenza was born on March 1st, 1993. She spent most of her years in Palm Coast, Florida, and graduated from Matanzas High School. After graduation, she worked in various jobs, and during this time, she had a relationship with a colleague, which resulted in the birth of her son Ryland when she was 19 years old. However, the relationship between her and Ryland's father did not last, and ultimately, the father continued to care for his son while Brandi retained custody and insisted on dedicating her life to her child. Friends of Brandi described her as very friendly and always willing to help others, even at her own expense. In the spring of 2014, while working at a mall, Brandi met a man named Keith. He was 36 at the time, while Brandi was 22, but the age difference did not bother her. In fact, Brandi told her friends that the age gap attracted her even more because he was a man seeking stability and seriously looking to build a family, which was exactly what she wanted. Their relationship continued well until 2016. In that year, Keith, who had been working as a roofer for over 15 years, suffered a work accident that left him unable to continue working. At that time, Brandi was very close to him, and as usual stood by him during his illness, and also supported him in the claim he filed to receive compensation from the company. In 2017, while Keith was unemployed, Brandi agreed to his request to marry her, and they weighed in a church without any celebration. At the end of 2017, Keith received a compensation amounting to $105,000, and the family moved into a newly built house at 23 Felter Lane in Palm Coast. They paid a year in advance for the rent and agreed to hold another wedding celebration. This time, a big party attended by all friends and family. On the surface, life in the house seemed normal, or at least that is what people saw. Keith during this period did not start any business to earn an income and remained at home relying on the compensation money. In reality, all he did was use drugs. Life continued like this between the couple until April 7th, 2018. On this day began like any ordinary day. Brandi prepared breakfast for Ryland, and as usual, Ryland told her he loved her. After that, Brandi went to her room. Meanwhile, Keith went to the bathroom to take a shower. Less than 5 minutes later, 2 gunshots were heard, and Brandi was found lying in the room between the bed and the dresser covered in her blood. He quickly called 911.
Flagler County 911, where's your emergency?
I was in the shower. I heard gunshots. And I think my wife shot herself.
What happened?
I was in the shower, and I heard some gunshots.
Okay.
I think that my wife accidentally shot herself.
Do you think she did this to harm herself, or do you think this was accidental? Any idea?
No, I think it's accidental.
Okay, is she breathing? She talking to you, breathing anything?
Yes, she's breathing.
All right. Is she able to say anything to you?
Baby. Hey. Baby, no. She thinks you'll hear it.
Okay.
I can hear her breathe, though.
Oh, are you applying pressure to that wound?
No, I can't
Find
reach
yourself.
her like that. I'm wet. I'm sliding on my floors.
You can't apply pressure.
I can't see it. Listen, I got wood floors and I'm sliding. I don't want to risk hurting her or possibly one of the guns going off, too.
After this call, the police arrived and removed Keith from the house, while paramedics tried to save Brandi. Keith told them he could not help her because his body was wet from the shower, even though when officers arrived, his body was completely dry and did not look like someone who had just stepped out of the bathroom. Keith began explaining what happened to the officers while he called Brandi's family, who arrived quickly along with his own parents.
She's gone? Oh, God!
Shut up. Just had it.
Are you serious? Are you sure?
I don't want nobody to ever have a gun in this family again. I gotta tell him his mom.
Huh? We're just at this point, we don't want to freak him out any more than what's going on. Okay?
What do I do?
I don't know at this point. All right.
Brandi Ruth Celenza, 25 years old, was pronounced dead at the scene. During this time, Keith was taken to the police station to give his statement, while officers and forensic technicians examined the crime scene, which from the very first moment suggested that something was not right. Brandy had been shot twice, once in the head and once in the abdomen, which directly conflicted with the idea that she had ended her own life. But for the investigators at that moment, it was still a possibility, even though it is extremely rare for someone to take their own life with 2 gunshots. What worked in the investigators' favor, in a case as disturbing as this, was that the house was equipped with cameras almost everywhere inside and outside, and these cameras recorded both audio and video. This meant that investigators could eventually determine how the crime unfolded, even though they noticed that the only room without any cameras was the bedroom. While Keith entered the interrogation room, accompanied by a grief counselor, Keith's father was still at the crime scene and told the officers that Keith had full knowledge of how to use firearms and had also taught Brandy a lot about them, a detail that would become very important later.
And you've been married how long?
About a little over a year.
Okay. How would you describe your relationship?
The best one that I've had yet. I mean, she was everything that I wanted her to be. Everybody has their problems here and there, of course. But it was, she woke me up, she made breakfast, she had my back, And that's very rare.
The investigator began asking him about their private relationship and whether there had been any form of betrayal between them. Keith said that he had recently seen her engaging in an intimate act alone online, and that she had sent some inappropriate videos to certain people, but he said he did not consider it an act of betrayal.
Were you guys faithful with one another? Was it just a...
For the most part, yeah. She had this online thing, that she admitted to. I've been flirting online, but whoopee, who cares? You didn't do nothing physically.
When the investigator asked him why he stored all the firearms in the safe, except for those 2 handguns, he told her he had been worried about a bad neighbor and wanted to protect himself from him. That explanation was not unusual, but what he said next was,
All my other guns have 2 or 3 rounds in them that are rubber.
Oh, what?
Just for, in case something, you have a misfire or whatever. If someone was to rob us or whatever, I don't want to kill them. Honestly, I don't want to kill them.
Sure.
I just want to prevent them. That's what they're made for.
Can I just ask you a question?
Sure.
So most of your guns have the rubber rounds in them?
Yeah.
So all of them except for those 2 have the rubber rounds?
Yes. I ran out of them. I didn't have enough to put in them.
So in your extensive gun career...
I don't know about extensive, but...
Well, you're more familiar than she is. How often does it happen that somebody accidentally shoots themselves twice?
I don't know if she was shot once or twice. I don't know.
Well, you said it went off twice.
Yes. I don't know. If she dropped the other one, it happens.
Sure.
I've never heard of it being like that unless you drop it.
Right. Heard of it being like what? I'm sorry.
Like a misfire or whatever you call them. Unless you drop it.
Is there anything else that you can think of that you think is important for our investigation?
As far as?
As far as anything, as far as getting justice for your wife?
Better gun control schools. Better gun control schools, readily available.
What in the world does that have to do with this?
What? No, because if she knew better gun control, you know, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Can you give me just a second?
Yeah.
I want to better familiarize myself with what it actually looks like in your room.
Okay.
So I'm going to go look at the photos that were taken.
The investigator was not only reviewing the photos from the crime scene. In fact, the initial analysis of the scene had already revealed shocking details. The first strange thing in the photos sent to her was the position of the two handguns placed very close to each other in a way that did not suggest that Brandy had used them to end her life or that she had accidentally fired them at herself. The second strange detail was that Brandy had 2 gunshot wounds, one to the head and one to the abdomen, which is something no one attempting to end their own life could realistically do. While the investigator was trying to piece together these details from the scene, another investigator specialized in interviewing children had information even more shocking than anything discovered so far at the crime scene.
When my mom went to the hospital.
Oh, tell me about that.
She was, my dad was in the shower, my mom was in her bedroom, and she accidentally shot herself. She had a little scream, and then I heard 2 gunshots. And I know it was nobody with her. It was just her.
Did somebody tell you that?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
My dad.
Your dad told you that nobody was with her, it was just her?
Yeah, in her bedroom.
Thank you for telling me that. What else did you hear? I know you said you heard a little scream.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you heard Mommy scream?
I felt sad.
The information Ryland shared proved that Brandy did not shoot herself because no one who is ending their own life screams before pulling the trigger. This information reached the investigator and she returned to the interrogation room with Keith, but this time with a completely different approach.
I think that we're at the point of where we need to have a little bit of a harder conversation.
Good.
Because as much as I want to believe that the guns fell and went off and shot her, what we have at the scene just doesn't show that. So I want to keep our relationship open and honest, and I want to be able to respect you, and I want to be able to preserve the love that you have for Brandy, and I also want to give Brandy the justice that she deserves, and I think we need to have a harder conversation.
Go for it.
Is there any chance at all that something different happened that you have not told us?
None. Because that's what happened. I got no reason to lie to you guys. I mean, you guys are investigators, for God's sake.
I'm not saying that you're flat out lying to us. That's not what I'm saying at all.
It's fine.
But this is your opportunity to help yourself and to lay it all out for us, because there's a backstory. This isn't the story.
This is the story. And I'll get a lawyer and I will prove that this is the real story.
Okay. And you are completely entitled to that.
Ask Ryland. I mean, that's all that happened.
We did ask him.
Okay.
And you know what he told us? Do you want to know?
Yeah, because I wasn't up.
He told us that he heard his mom scream.
I heard no screams at all. None.
Why would he make that up?
Ask him.
Is he a liar?
He has been known to tell folks, yes.
Does he tell you on the regular that his mom screams in the bedroom?
No.
Has he ever told you that his mom screams and it was a lie?
No, not screaming, but he lies about a bunch of other different things. You can ask his real father, and he'll tell you that too.
So why on this date would he lie about his mom screaming in the bedroom?
You guys can try to pin whatever you want on me. She didn't scream.
Listen, dude, nobody's trying to pin anything on you.
I'm just telling you what I heard, man. If you're trying to pin something on me, why would I have called 911?
Keith continued to deny having any connection to the crime, and when investigators asked him for the username and password of the camera system, he told them he could not remember. This forced investigators to obtain a warrant for the camera company because the footage was stored on the company's servers. Eventually, they collected the gunshot residue test from him and released him afterward. The following day, the autopsy report arrived, and what it revealed confirmed every suspicion the investigators had. The autopsy showed that the first shot fired at Brandy came from a distance of 1 to 1.5 meters, while the second shot was fired from less than half a meter, which made the theory of her shooting herself completely impossible. Now, investigators had Ryland's statement and the autopsy report, but they still did not have a motive, so they decided not to arrest Keith or charge him until the camera footage arrived, because it was the only thing that could show what truly happened inside that house. After 2 weeks of waiting, the camera footage finally arrived, and it revealed one of the most disturbing patterns of domestic violence. The first shocking discovery investigators made was that when Keith called 911, he was not in the bedroom as he claimed, but was actually hiding drugs before the police arrived.
I was in the shower and I heard some gunshots. And I think that my wife accidentally shot herself. Baby, please stay with us. Please hurry. Please save her life.
And just 2 days before the murder, he had removed the camera that was installed in his bedroom. Investigators decided to review the footage from the week before the bedroom camera was removed, and what they discovered showed that Keith had been treating Brandy with extreme cruelty. But everything escalated dramatically after he found out that she had been online and had engaged in intimate activity alone. This discovery pushed Keith into a continuous pattern of abuse directed at her.
Yeah, you push a person to either beat or kill you because you're a whore. Man. We'll see how you can do that, man. That's what made you become a f***ing lion cheating slut. I will never trust you again. Ever. So you might as well just get out of my life. Do yourself a favor. I want to just hurt you and be safe. God knows you deserve it. Jack, you use it. You know what? I'm gonna leave it here to haunt you. Maybe one day you will. You wouldn't give a I did. You drove me to think about it, man. Put fish hooks in that. Because it's not worth nothing now. Not in my eyes. My eyes, man, you cheated, dude. Multiple times. And only a stupid, cheating scumbag son of a bitch would make that same mistake. You're the wrong person, dude.
Brandy endured the worst forms of psychological and physical abuse throughout the week that ended with her death. For investigators, the motive had become unmistakably clear. Keith was furious about what she had done online, and with his constant use of meth, the idea of killing Brandy only grew stronger. This was the reason he removed the bedroom camera 2 days before he murdered her. On April 27, 2018, Keith John Johansson was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, methamphetamine possession, and tampering with evidence. The trial of Keith Johansson began on October 26, 2021, and during the sessions, the prosecution presented surveillance footage that revealed days of insults, threats, and psychological torment inflicted by Keith on Brandy before her death. The defense, on the other hand, tried to save Keith with a completely new story that he had never mentioned before, claiming he shot Brandy in self-defense after panicking and insisting she was high on meth, and approached him with a gun while hallucinating and saying he was made of plastic.
Then I pretty much was in the bathroom, took off my pants, getting ready to step into the shower, and I heard her say boo, which is the nickname that she uses for me. So I go out there, and she had a weapon in her hand. She said that I was not her husband and I was plastic. and I had walked forward to her, trying to disarm her. And, well, I had grabbed my gun, the one that was in the box. Okay.
Mechanic?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Then I started walking towards her, trying to, say, hey, man, and trying to bark orders and for her to drop it and to disarm her. And then she would not do so. So I got closer and I tried to grab it from her, and she lifted it up, and a round went out of my gun on her. Then she cocked and swung as I'm retreating, and another round I pulled off because she was pointing a loaded weapon at me.
So how many times did you fire the canic?
Twice, sir.
During cross-examination, the prosecution dismantled this version, proving that Brandy was not under the influence of any hallucinogenic dose, as Keith claimed, and exposing that Keith had lied for more than 20 days, offering multiple contradictory stories. The evidence showed that he removed the bedroom camera before the murder and then focused on hiding his drugs instead of trying to save his wife. After 4 days of trial and less than 3 hours of deliberation, the jury delivered its verdict.
In Flagler County this morning, a man is facing life in prison for murdering his wife. A jury found Keith Johansen guilty yesterday in the 2018 shooting of Brandi Celenza. Investigators say she was shot during an argument at the couple's home in Palm Coast. Immediately after yesterday's verdict, the judge sentenced Johansen to life in prison without parole.
Brandy wasn't just my sister. She was my best friend. She was a mother. She was a daughter. She was young. She still had a whole life to go. And he just took her away, and nobody was able to say anything.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime documentaries. See you in the next video.